Welcome back to the centre court in Stavanger. It's the men's final at the Norwegian Open on the Swatch FIVB World Tour. You haven't missed a thing. The first set went to Argentina, 21 points to 16. And we join the action right at the start of set number 2. And Baracetti gets them off to a good start. Now, just to take you back to what we were saying about the man in your picture there, Emanuel. Started playing professionally when he was 15 years old. And since that point in his career, he's amassed an incredible 43 titles in various competitions, and earnings alone in terms of his winnings are somewhere near the region of $1.5 million. So it's been a lucrative career for Emanuel Rego, the guy that the Americans call Bones. Well, that's dramatic stuff from Martin Conde. You very rarely see Martin Conde that animated. And he's saying to the second official, did you see that ball touch the floor? The second official's saying, yes, he did. Always a tough call in the sand. When you've got your hands down in the sand, you've got lots of lumps and bumps. And, well, difficult call. I think when in doubt on those, you really shouldn't call it. Tough one. Tough one for us to see here. But right under the nose of the referee, and the first official says that ball was down. And he's very definite about his call, and that's what the players will respond to. If you're consistent with your refereeing and you're tough with your decisions, then the players just tend to turn around, go back, get on with the match. That's what they're like on the World Tour, very professional about the whole thing. Good set from Martin Conde, wild hit from Baracetti. Looking to the referee to give a touch off Ricardo's block, but that's not forthcoming. I think this was just a big booming hit out. Yeah, it was. And Baracetti, unfortunately, compounds the fact that the decision in the last rally went against them. Good blocking from Ricardo. Straight into the net from Conde, no touch. Ricardo just signalling that there was no touch on that block. Great block there. Up the ball goes. Martin Conde going cleverly on the second. Well, there was a huge touch on Ricardo when we see that replay. That's the second official's job to pick that one up. But when it's happening so fast down there on court side, it is difficult to see. The first official would have had a very good view of it as well, but he says it didn't come over the net and bounce off Ricardo's hand. And Baracetti continuing some dialogue with the ref there. No, good decision. They've reversed the decision. So all that initial hoo-ha about what had gone on with Ricardo backing away, the referees obviously had a negotiation about that one very soon after. And despite what we thought they'd given in the first instance, the decision did stand that it did hit Ricardo's hands. Good work from the referees here in Stavanger. Tough enough job as it is without 5,000 people and rock music blaring out. And that's what this beach volleyball tour is all about. The Swatch FIVB tour. One long, terrific party, which the main stars, of course, are the players down there on the sand. And boy, do they put on a great show for us year in, year out. And this Stavanger tournament has been no different. This is a terrific contest. And even with Argentina taking that first set, you still couldn't confidently predict which way it's going to go. And at the moment, it's a run of hitting errors. Brazil, a couple of errors from them. Mariano Baracetti, once again, is phased by this big block of Ricardo. And as he chips with the cut cross court, he misses by a good metre. And Emanuel lets him know it. But there's no animosity on the court at all between these two teams. They are great friends. Away from the action. But that's not what it's about now, I tell you. It's about money, it's about points, it's about playing solid beach volleyball. Now, tough pass, but a nice recovery set from Conde. Baracetti just pushing the ball through the block. That looked pretty close to an illegal tip shot, playing it with the inside of your hand. You're not allowed to do that unless you're hitting the ball. Clearly, you can't carry the ball and push it across the net. And again, that was going out, but Conde played it. He better put this one down, and he does. That's clever work from Martin Conde. Really aggressive powerful joust off the block. Oh my goodness, this is causing a few problems for the players down here. To be fair to the referees, the players have not seen a couple of the points correctly, and the referees have given the right decision, but this ball here wiped clearly off the block of Ricardo. It touched the guy in the green vest last, Ricardo Santos, so it should be a point the way of Argentina. By the way the debate is carrying on, he's saying that he saw the ball hit Ricardo's hand, then hit Martin Conde's hand and go out. And on this occasion, it's not the correct decision from the referee. But as my co-commentator sometimes here at Eurosport, Nick Smith, says, it's not about good or bad, right or wrong. It's just about what the referee saw, and that's all they can give. And quite clearly, the last touch on Ricardo. Margins for error, though, very close. And another great shot peppered down onto the line by Martin Conde this time. By Baracetti, sorry. There's still a lot of debate going down there on court. I think this has got to Mariano Baracetti. This is very unusual for him. He's lost his cool down there on court. That's just uncharacteristic for the quiet Argentinian. That's not what he's about on court, and that's going to affect his play if he keeps this up. Oh, what a shot from Ricardo. Talk about rubbing salt into the wounds. He rose so high off the sand to spike that ball down the line. This is just beautiful beach volleyball. What a screaming hit from Ricardo. 6 points to 5 now. The Brazilians lead in the set that they have to win if they're going to take this final to a third and deciding set. And the ignominy continues for Mariano Baracetti. Now he gets a ball shoved straight back on his head. And the only way that can get more embarrassing is if your glasses and hat come off at the same time. And he's lucky, just missed his face, caught his shoulder. And the block machine, as the other players call him, Ricardo, is starting to function now full throttle. We all thought that the other players had found a way round him, but he was obviously just waiting to get some of that timing back. The guy is an albatross at the net, one hell of a wingspan. This time, Baracetti gets it past him, but it's not convincing, is it? Waits for the arms to split, goes through the middle. That's a field goal, 3 points. Well, it would be if you were playing American football. But unfortunately, beach volleyball, still the 1 point. But as you saw then, it passed clearly within Ricardo's range of movement. He's got such a huge window of blocking opportunity. The wind there still causing problems, so the baseline just covered by a little bit of sand by Baracetti. That keeps the baseline down on the sand. And a serving error. No, it's touched the baseline. Well seen by the linesperson. And the crowd being treated to a terrific struggle here out on centre court in this men's final of the Norwegian Open on the Swatch FIVB World Tour. 28-year-old Mariano Baracetti waits to serve. He's had 3 aces so far in this game. Goes again to Ricardo. What's Ricardo got? And he just gets his timing wrong. A lot of shouting going on court at the moment at the officials, and that just shows you the teams aren't quite settled. And to add to that, yeah, clearly no touch on the block. I think it's a lot to do with the wind. It's very difficult for us to appreciate how windy it really is down there on the court. But needless to say that even in a gale, these guys still have fantastic ball control. Thanks for that, Mariano. Just illustrating my point by serving out. And he was serving from the good end. Would have hoped that the wind would have taken the ball down into court. So as the Jazz Club cheerleaders keep the atmosphere going here, Ricardo with his next jump serve. It's a great serve to the corner. Baracetti makes the hit, but what a pick up from Emanuel. And it just goes too tight to the net from the resulting set of Ricardo. And Emanuel's heroic efforts were in vain. Good touch by Baracetti on that service from Ricardo. Out to the corner, and as he goes line, wonderful pickup from Emanuel, and a poor set from Ricardo cost them the point in the end, and it was something they could have conceivably earned. So the Argentinians lead by 1-0. They lead by 9 points to 8 in this second set. Tough spiralling serve to the corner. That's better, much better from Ricardo Costa Santos. Bigley still goes cross court, but inside the block of Baracetti, who was jumping well into the angle. 9 points all. Emanuel Rego with the service. Good service this time. Left-hand spike cross court from Martin Conde, but he misses. And that's clever tactics from the Brazilians. They haven't served Conde now for something like a whole set in terms of points. But now when they go back to him, they've just gone back to him to see if they can pick up a mistake, and they got it. We'll see what Emanuel does here on this next service. I suspect that he'll go back to Baracetti. They want to pick up points off Conde sparingly. He's such a good side-out player and such a good passer in these conditions. Baracetti's going to make the passing errors, but they choose to make Conde work again. There you go. You don't do it twice to Martin Conde. That's the general rule out here on the Swatch FIVB World Tour. He learns very, very quickly from the previous play. And on that occasion, just repeating exactly the same shot, but this time not hitting it, just shooting it. And Emanuel not up to the challenge of the cross-court defence. Baracetti then back with the ball in his hand. Service error last time out. 10-all. And a service error this time. We'll take a break. We'll be back with the rest of this set two. Welcome back to the Norwegian Open men's final here in Stavanger. We ended on a bit of a down note before we went to the break. You've missed nothing. The score remains exactly the same, 11-10 in favour of the Brazilians. And this is better. Nice tight jousting rally at the net. Team's finally getting it under control. Good blocking. Conde's on it. Great beach volleyball from Argentina. Oh, and then Baracetti goes and misses the court. And as the scoreboard proclaims spectacular play, they're not wrong. Martin Conde, easily the best defender on this World Tour, hits into the block of Ricardo and then recovers his own shot off Baracetti's defence. But Baracetti rolls it out over the baseline. And it's starting to happen for the boys in green. Ricardo has the ball back at the service line. A 2-point advantage for them now over Argentina. Cut inside, that's too long. Mariana Baracetti took a long look there, and in windy conditions, the ball will be moving about. It will drop down on you very quickly, and by the time he returns to his shot, the ball's dropped nearly to shoulder height, and he nails it straight into the net band. And the local fans who've supported the USA through quite a few of the games, as well as their own homegrown talent, the likes of Hoydalen and Jore Andres Schemperud, have now turned their attentions very much to the Brazilians. Baracetti with the pass. He's having a nightmare in this second set. Finally gets a little topspin shot down to half court to make the play. Baracetti just reaching on top of the ball, clipping over the top. Easy kill for him. But it's not been that easy in set two. The blocking of Ricardo really messing him up. Martin Conde with the serve. Good finish from Emanuel. They haven't served Emanuel for a little while. They've tried to stick with Ricardo, feeling that his ball control in this wind will be more susceptible to error. But when they do go back to Emanuel, he's not in the mood to hand them over any easy points, and that's a great kill from him. The best all-round beach volleyball athlete that this game has ever seen, apart from maybe the great Karch Kirai. Emanuel with his serve. Martin Conde with the pass, and the left-hander goes on to Emanuel. That is stunning defence from the Brazilian. And a rainbow cross-court shot picked up as well. Oh, clever stuff from Conde. But a good block. Well, just as we say, he is the all-round athlete that this sport has ever seen. He comes and produces the sort of plays that demonstrate just that. Not only making the defence twice in the backcourt, and they were two terrific pickups, he then comes to the net to show off his superb standing jump and shuts the lights out on Martin Conde. Emanuel then, if he puts a serve ace in here, then he's taken us through his full repertoire just about in the last 3 points. Well, he can't oblige. Line shot from Baracetti, gets it off the top of Ricardo's hands, but as we've said time and time again in set 2, it's not convincing from Mariano Baracetti. And look how high you have to go to get the ball over the top of Ricardo's block. That's just ridiculous. Baracetti serves Ricardo. Oh, good shot. Nearly defended by Conde. That was so close. How relaxed and casual is Conde in defence. He just lets the ball hit him. He cushions all the energy from the ball. And frequently when the ball goes near him, he gets it back into play somehow. And this is incredible power from Ricardo to be so well defended by Conde. And he can't quite finish the shot off. The party here in Stavanger continues. The weather, as always for this 2 weeks of the year, is beautiful. They reckon something like 80,000 fans through the gates to watch the beach volleyball tournament on the 8 courts that they've got constructed along the harbour side. Baracetti once again finds Ricardo's block just too much of an obstacle. And he's starting to look frustrated out there, and the Argentinians, who looked so comfortable in set 1, have really had their wings clipped by this man, Ricardo, in this second set. Baracetti this time goes cross-court, but Emanuel's there. That's the beauty of Ricardo's block to defend behind. Great kill from Conde. The Argentinians aren't out of this one yet. But Emanuel, just a little wry smile to himself there. When you've got a great blocker in front of you, then the trick is to go and stand in the only part of the court that still has a bit of sunshine on it, because that's how big Ricardo is. He casts a huge shadow over this playing space, and that makes it just a dream to defend behind. 4 points then, the difference. Martin Conde with the serve. They've got to do something pretty special here. Nice read from Conde to pick up. Line is the call from Baracetti, and line is the hit from Martin Conde in that number 2 vest. This time Ricardo doesn't manage to get the clamps onto the ball. He's a big guy, is Ricardo Santos, does a lot of dancing. That's his main hobby really, away from the sand court. He's part of a samba troupe up in Pessoa, and he really accredits the dancing to giving him coordination out there on the sand. 6'7". That must be an interesting sight on a Saturday evening in Pessoa, down the old samba club. Back to the action then. Emanuel with the service for Brazil. Cross court again, the chicken wing this time from Emanuel. Nicely demonstrated. Chicken wing when you fold your arm in half, and the most you can do is kind of shove your elbow away from the side of your body to provide some sort of platform for the ball to hit. Phrase coined, of course, in the Southern Californian volleyball leagues back in the 60s and 70s when the sport was really growing. But boy, has it come a long way from its roots. The first 2v2 game of beach volleyball recorded in Santa Monica in 1930. And now these guys are out on this tour competing for hundreds of thousands of dollars on a weekly basis. Big swing once again from Ricardo, and things looking good for the Brazilians in set 2. They're moving ever closer to that target of 21 points. 2 points away now from levelling this match at 1-all, and it's an ace from Ricardo. Baracetti leaves the ball and it drops in. Ricardo means business today. The block machine doing a little bit of serving here. Great serve, it's well in, and that's a terrible mistake from Baracetti. The Ricardo and Emanuel sign there in the background, showing that a few Brazilian fans turned up at the start of today believing in these two, and it looks like they're starting to believe in themselves, and that has to be a massive concern for the rest of the tour. But what a delight. We got 10, 15 men's teams now capable of winning each weekend, and that just makes this Swatch FIVB World Tour a delight to watch every weekend on Eurosport. We're going to be there throughout the summer. We've got a short break, of course, after this. The players get a 10-day rest before we head down to the south of France and the next Grand Slam in Marseille. Now it's set point still to Ricardo and Emanuel. But Martin Conde with the service. Ricardo has a chance to swing to level it. He's levelled it. Great kill. It's 1-all. We'll be back after the break with the third set. Welcome back. I hope you're strapped into your seats, because we've gone to a third and deciding set here in the Norwegian Open men's final. 1-all between Argentina and Brazil on this Swatch FIVB World Tour 2003, and it is the defending champion from last year's event in Stavanger, Emanuel, that gets this third set underway, and it's rally point still, but to 15 points. This will be over very quickly indeed. And it's all about guts at the start of this set. If you can get yourself a lead with a couple of decent shots or a couple of brilliant, spectacular plays, then you're in luck. And Baracetti starts off by handing a free point to Brazil. The jump float serve again, tough to handle for Baracetti. Oh, 2 wild hits from Mariano Baracetti. That's disappointing. We'd come so far in this match. Baracetti had hung on so well against the tough blocking of Ricardo, but now his game disintegrating. 2 really uncharacteristic hitting errors from Baracetti, and he obviously feels he's got nowhere to go on court at the moment. The speed of Emanuel in defence and the height of Ricardo at the block, and once again Baracetti is in trouble. Well, Ricardo has got his motor running, I can tell you that. The block machine is back. The albatross, the wall, I've heard him called just about everything. He is, without doubt, the best blocker on the Swatch FIVB World Tour. And there's one of the best defenders. Emanuel gets a touch, what a play! Oh, that's incredible from Ricardo, and he's back to block. He's touched it. Oh, unbelievable. Terrific stuff. And Argentina just catching the line. Martin Conde taking a huge sigh of relief. What a spectacular piece of beach volleyball. Look at this defence from Ricardo. He gets on the horse, gallops it across the sand. Emanuel recycles, and then there's Ricardo again. He has just sprinted 40 metres and still made the play, and only a piece of brilliance from this man's partner. Martin Conde keeps Argentina in this third set. Baracetti with the serve. Ricardo attacks, and it's easy. Too easy. The little chip shot across court from Ricardo when everybody thought he was going to hit. Finds the sand without Conde moving. And the Norwegian version of Bob the Builder rings out. It's the Brazilians that are building a rather handy lead here. 4 points to 1 in this third and deciding set to 15 points. Ricardo then with the serve into the wind, so a slight advantage. Oh, it's a tough one. Baracetti's got it. Too easy once again for Emanuel. Emanuel's going to bomb this one, and he does. Not even Martin Conde, one of the best defenders on this Swatch FIVB World Tour, not even he can defend the brilliance of Emanuel Rego. He's only 6'3", but what a huge leap to get his chest onto the net band, and he pummels it down. Conde and Baracetti are in deep trouble now in this men's final here at the Norwegian Open in this beautiful ancient port town of Stavanger on the southwest coast of Norway. Quick set then. Oh, it's all going wrong now. You can't do that against Ricardo. The quicker set, because it travels in a flatter trajectory, supposedly opens up a greater window of opportunity to hit. But if you don't get it right, if you drop it close to the net, it's so easy for Ricardo, and Martin Conde acknowledging that it was his error on the set. 6-1, the Brazilians lead. Another quick set wide. This time Baracetti has to hit it with his left hand. This is atrocious beach volleyball from Argentina. Now control finally regained, and for some reason Ricardo broke on that play and left Martin Conde with a free hit. I'm sure only Ricardo knows why he did that. Wrong decision then, but you sometimes do that when you're up and you relax. The thing is, you cannot afford to relax against the current reigning world champions, Argentinians Baracetti and Conde, and it is Martin Conde, the former professional tennis player, returned to beach volleyball around about the age of 20. Smacks that one into the net. It's just not going right at the moment for the Argentinians. Desperately important now that they start to trade points with Brazil to see if there is a chink in the armour. But the Brazilians, who have been dormant for the last 8 or 9 events, people even talking about them splitting up, have finally got themselves to a final, and I think we all acknowledge it's the 2 dominant athletes on the world tour, and if they can get their game together, if they can start to play, then there's no reason why they can't dominate on this Swatch FIVB World Tour. Again, no conviction about the side out from Mariano Baracetti. Touches the net, then touches the arms of Ricardo. And it all really happened for him at the start of the second set. He had a few decisions go against him, he felt unfairly. One of them certainly was poor. The other one was a pretty good call, I think. Great blocking from him now. He's got his head back together because he kept a dialogue going with the referees, the lines people, the second official for quite some time, and that's not Mariano Baracetti's game. He's a wonderfully gentle character away from the court, and when he keeps his attention focused on the good things about his game, when he's out on the sand, that's when he plays his best beach volleyball. The Argentinians now need a serve to go in. Oh, this is just atrocious from them. No wonder Emanuel is smiling. Emanuel, with his partner Marco, won the first ever rally point match when the scoring changed, and he won that back in 1997 at Marseille. And the FIVB found that that was such an exciting way to score this game of beach volleyball that they changed from the old 15 points for one game, scoring only on your serve, and they've kept it ever since, scoring every single rally, just like tennis. Big swing. Again, defended by Emanuel. A smile from Conde. They do this every week. It's so tough. When it gets to the crunch time in the game, you will find Conde and Baracetti just smiling their way through it. If they're not going to win, they're not going to win. They'll be perfectly happy with silver medal for this week. That doesn't mean they're not going to go away and think about plans to try and win in Marseille at the second Grand Slam. It just means they're protecting themselves for today. Now, if they can relax, they can get back in this game. Oh dear, no they can't. Not if Ricardo keeps that up. Well, an incredible swing from the big man. Gets up, hits very, very hard across court. And then goes and shouts at Emanuel for good measure. My Portuguese is not as good as it should be, to be honest, with so many Brazilians on this tour. I really would love to know what Ricardo is saying. He's a very respectful young man, the 28-year-old from Yapasar. so it won't be anything rude. It'll just be motivational stuff for his partner, Emanuel. Now, the danger for Emanuel is that he plays this game so well, he can sometimes look like he's got bored out there on court. Such is his dominance during certain periods of play. And I think this has been a useful kick up the backside to have so many unsuccessful weeks on the Swatch FIVB World Tour. And it's been enough to inspire the 30-year-old Brazilian to get himself back and get himself in shape. Not that he ever really was out of shape. The guy the Americans called Bones, when he was living over in Redondo Beach in California, as part of his pursuit of the beach volleyball dream. But has returned to his home country of Brazil now, and he's been living there for the past 6 or 7 seasons. And has got a partner that he feels settled with now in Ricardo for their challenge for gold medal at Athens 2004. And if this start of this Swatch FIVB Tour is anything to go by, then the Olympic Games is going to be a feast. Where's your money going? I certainly don't know. Another quick set for Baracetti. Another lucky side out. Baracetti is hanging on by his fingernails at the moment. This is the most at sea I've ever seen Mariano Baracetti look on a volleyball court, as he goes wide for that quick attack. What they're trying to do is make it difficult for the big man Ricardo to move laterally. Most coaches will tell you if you can get the big guys moving along the net fast, then that will destroy their block timing. But unfortunately, you have to do that time and time again, and you have to do it with perfect control like that in order to put Ricardo under enough pressure to benefit you. And that little relaxing period that we had about 3 minutes ago, where Martin Conde was smiling and laughing with Baracetti, that's kind of unlocked things for them in this third set. And the crowd know it. The Argentinians are coming back at Emanuel and Ricardo. Martin Conde then. Just 1 point divides the two teams now. Argentina trail 9-10 in this third set to 15. Well, lots of shouting, no touch called by Argentina. Ricardo demanding that the second official inquires whether there was a touch, and also to check the ball mark at the back of the court. There's two things being debated here. Well, it looked like it might have got a micro touch off the forearm, but that's irrelevant if it went in court. And tough to see from the replays here from Norwegian television. So it all goes down to the ball mark, and the second official says the ball was clearly out, the ball imprint nowhere near the line. If any part of the ball touches the line, it's in. Ricardo wants to go and see, so he wanders over and has a look. Ricardo's starting to look a little dishevelled now, the long hair escaping from that visor. And Baracetti and Conde have levelled third set at 10-all. They've snuck in, really, without anybody noticing. Just by relaxing, just by taking the foot off the gas and stopping worrying about the whole thing, they've got themselves back in play, got themselves back in contention. Oh dear, by Conde's standards, that was a poor miss. Doesn't matter about the power of Ricardo, this man will soak up anything. Spikes coming at him at around about 90-95 miles an hour. And he should have played that. Look at his movement. His head doesn't move, his body stays almost perfectly still, and he just lets the ball ricochet back into play, but not on that occasion. And Ricardo and Emanuel take it to 11-10. 15 is the target in set 3. It's another quick set. It's another really poor set. I was going to say rubbish then. That would have been slightly unfair on Martin Conde. But it's not the sort of set that's going to beat Ricardo. Oh, Mariano Baracetti misses the ball completely. No wonder he's having a good laugh on the floor. That is so embarrassing. He started his approach because he knew it was going to be a quicker set, but what happened was the wind just caught the ball, floated it up above the net. He jumped, landed, and the ball was still there. 12-10. Brazil regain the advantage. And it's a big advantage now. Ricardo's back, and he's back with a vengeance. Just when you think he's drifted away from the game, he smooths the hair down, tucks it under the visor, and business, normal business, has been resumed. Huge leap into the cross court. Big stuff block. 3 points the advantage now, as Emanuel prepares to serve in pursuit of his 37th title in his World Tour career. That is just amazing. Quick set again, the Brazilians touching every time on that quick set, but Baracetti persevering with it. Conde gets it right this time, doesn't put it too close to the net. Gives him a bit of room to manoeuvre it off the hands of Ricardo, and that's brave play from Argentina. They're obviously thinking about the whole of this season. They want to develop that play more and more. Ricardo then with the swing. Oh, terrible mistake from Baracetti. And Ricardo is such a sporting young man on court, and he and Baracetti very close friends away from the court, and they share a little bit of a laugh there after that joust. As we approach the close of this men's final, just a little bit of news for you earlier in the day. Prosser and Williams from Australia, I'm delighted to say, won the bronze medal by beating Balaguarda and Dutra Jr. of Brazil in a terrific game. They beat them 2-1. So Julian Prosser is back, and Mark Williams wins his first gold medal on this Swatch first bronze medal, sorry, on this Swatch FIVB World Tour. It is match point then in our gold medal final. Great kill from Conde to keep Argentina in the mix. But it is still 2 set points and 2 match points. And of course, 2 championship points for the Brazilians, Ricardo and Emanuel. It'll be Argentina to serve in the shape of Martin Conde. Ricardo and Emanuel just need to make one side out. They need to kill the ball, and they have arrived finally as a partnership. Conde serves Ricardo. Ricardo bombs it. It's in. It's just hit the sideline. That's brilliant sportsmanship from Martin Conde. I don't know if you saw it, but he told the referee the ball hit the line. Well, when there's so much money and so many points at stake, isn't it wonderful to see a delightful gesture like that from Martin Conde? But equally as delightful, we finally see Emanuel and Ricardo string a set of results together at a tournament that carry them all the way through to the top of the podium. Ricardo gets served, and he's going to do nothing else other than get up there and hit this ball as hard as he possibly can. No need to worry about shooting, rolling, just swing. And the net nearly takes it out, but Martin Conde spots that the ball clipped the line, and he takes the pressure away from the referees and the lines people, and he sportingly tells them the ball hit the line. And that's a lovely scene. Well played, Martin Conde, but brilliantly played. Ricardo, the block machine, is back, and Emanuel is looking as good as he ever did. That is now 37 World Tour titles in the bag. The one thing that's missing, of course, the Olympic medal for Emanuel, and he hopes that it will be gold medal in Athens in 2004 in 1 year's time. But for the meantime, he and Ricardo must content themselves with a share of the $150,000 prize fund, 300 points in the World Tour Bank, and that is a great